These are the wildest moments in lacrosse history.
It's in his pants, it's in his shorts. Let him play.
Multiple flags.
And first, a lacrosse player was punched and shot in the face at the same time.
Fun to shoot.
Yeah, Greer's going to the box, deservedly so.
Greer took the shot from his own teammate. That ball, I think, hit him right in the face.
Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Like number 19, if you're Cornell, because the goalie just ran the entire length of the field and embarrassed you.
Shovel pass to the crease. Reardon saw it. Now look at Reardon. Here's Reardon going over midfield with 14.
Go, Big Blaze.
Tied up, splits the double with 8. She's gonna get a shot off. He scores!
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Under control. Watch the step fake. No other goalie in America's thrown that.
But Big Blaze didn't just do this in college. He did this at the pro level too.
We're against a shorty. Good feed, Leclerc, and there's Big Blaze with the stop. And here comes Reardon, who plays forward in box lacrosse.
There he goes.
Oh, man.
Don't get
Most skilled goalie offensively.
Go.
And he scores! Big Blaze all the way!
Thank you, Blaze!
Bro's destroying teams with the goalie stick, kind of like UPenn when they played Notre Dame, because they put a goalie head on a long pole just to see what would happen.
Injuries to deal with Duffy and Petramala. Syracuse. A little bit of a shocking loss to Duke last week.
Man, I didn't even know that was legal. Kind of like the time a fan stepped onto the field and shot faster than every lacrosse player in history.
Someone we've literally never seen before. Here's Zach Dorn.
He's keeping this close to the vest.
All right, Zach, what do you got here?
114.
What? 114 miles an hour to tie the world record. Zach Dorn, who is a fan. He is not an MLL player. Tie the record. How about breaking it, Zach? What do you got?
116.
He did it! He did it! 116 miles an hour. It's a brand new world record from a fan at the All-Star game. Incredible. Zach Dorn, you are the new world record holder, and you just won $1,000.
It's amazing. It's a dream.
A new world record.
116 miles an hour? Man, that was fast. Just like this shot from a Harvard defender who bazookaed the ball through the goalie's stick.
Back to Jack Bright. Loads up and fires right back.
Through the goalie's stick. You want to talk about heat?
Man, are you serious? If I was the goalie, I'd be raging at the mesh company. Kind of like Mark Millen, lacrosse Hall of Famer, who while coaching summer ball, lost his temper on the other team.
You are such a tool. Hey, lift your skate. You lost.
I'm not talking about the loss. I'm
You
talking
lost.
about the sportsmanship.
Let's go. Sportsmanship?
You got a guy hitting behind the play like that.
You're gone.
You let that get out of control. That freaking call on a face-off, you don't give them a warning. You just automatically give it to their guy. There's back checks all over the place. Come on, man. You gave us 25 late hits. Shut your hole.
You're so out of your mind.
Lax parents can be a bit crazy, but that's just a one-time freak out, right?
Many months later.
Love you guys talking Love you guys talking a handshake. You started
Okay, to be fair, summer lax can get pretty heated, but what happens if you play in the winter? Well, you might just lose the ball in a blizzard. Honestly, it looks pretty fun sliding around in the snow.
Barbero slides. Now that's going to be a procedure according to Travis Fry on the run, and Fry goes low and away.
Yeah, an official.
Was brave in the elements. Ground ball, and was able to split two, right? You've done each other. If you're going to slide, make sure your teammate knows it, and then get the recovery. And then when you come back in, identify who you're going to guard.
Stefanko, the local product, cranks it up and scores!
Kind of like where Mikey Powell is out here doing behind-the-back front flips for the fun of it.
Here's one of your odds-on favorites. Mikey Powell. Look at this gymnastics. And the finish.
Little Carthage cartwheel right there. The Carrier Dome front flip, and these fans love it.
Bro, if I was the goalie, I'd get dizzy. Kind of like this moment when Johns Hopkins pulled off one of the craziest hidden ball tricks in lacrosse history.
Johns Hopkins, 1 for 1 on the man up today. Brown, look at this. Unbelievable.
A little kid on the playground. The simple pass from 2 seconds away.
They all think right there, Wells Stanwyck, 42 has it. See him shaking his stick down the left side. It's Ryan Brown on the far side, feeding a wide open Shaq Stanwyck.
You don't see that very often.
Yeah, the goalie had no idea what was happening. Sometimes you just need to get lucky, like Blaze Reardon, who saved this one when the ball went up his shorts.
Shriver shoots with his left. He can't find it. Is it in? No.
It's in his pants.
It's in his pants. It's in his shorts. Blaze couldn't find it. He's stopping every shot every way possible.
Look, this is crazy. You got to look at his pants. Are his pants past the goal line? That's the question.
No,
the ball never gets there.
No.
You can see Rowlett.
Stuck in the equipment.
It's like Rowlett is sliding to hide the camera, too. Don't let anybody see it. It's not in the goal. It's in his shorts.
Big Blaze got some ball-on-ball action. Just make sure not to sniff that thing.
Oh, hell no.
Because if you can't score, you might as well just dive right into the net.
Well, Shuda knocks the cage over, and the flag flies.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Stop! How about we talk? Thank you.
Ullman diving toward the crease.
I don't think I've ever seen the net flip over, but you know what else I've never seen? A lacrosse ball skip across the water, like when Paul Rabel teamed up with Dude Perfect and hit the world's first pond skipper shot.
Right here, we got the pond skipper.
Yes, we do.
Sheesh, that was crazy. Who do you think should be the next Lax player on Dude Perfect? Mikey Sowers, Trevor Baptiste, or CJ Kirst? Whoever it is, let's make sure it's not Matt Gaudet, because at number 7, he was caught on camera chirping away at Blaze Reardon.
Yeah, I mean, Reardon just sucks, honestly, so I'm not sure exactly what to tell you, but he's definitely having a tough day, but this isn't anything new.
And this made Blaze's teammate, Austin Stotts, pretty upset, because later that night at the hotel bar, Gaudet and Stotts got into an altercation. Now the details are super murky, but what we do know is that Gaudet emerged with a piece of his finger bitten off. Nasty! And this infuriated the PLL. So the Rabel Bros sat down with Gaudet and Stotts and kicked them out of the league. Definitely one of the wildest moments in Lax history. But not as wild as number 6, when an announcer made racist remarks about Lyle Thompson over the loudspeaker. See, back in 2019, Lyle Thompson was the best lacrosse player on the planet, and he was playing an indoor game for the Georgia Swarm on the road against the Philadelphia Wings. And as Lyle carried the ball down the field, the Wings arena announcer got on the mic and said, "Let's snip the ponytail."
The Philadelphia Wings lacrosse team is apologizing for racist comments hurled at an opposing player during a home game last night. Wings announcer Shawnee Hill said, quote, "Let's snip the ponytail." In addition, Thompson says the crowd at the Wells Fargo Center started saying to him that they would scalp him.
Now here's why that comment hit so hard. Lyle Thompson is Native American, and in Native culture, a ponytail carries deep spiritual meaning. It represents a sacred connection to the earth, to ancestors, and to the creator. And let's not forget, lacrosse itself was created by Native Americans. So it's a pretty wild move to insult Lyle and the entire game. But I don't think the announcer knew what he was doing. The Wings issued an apology and removed him from his role. Let's just make sure that never happens again, because we want people joining the game of lacrosse, like Chris Hogan, who quit catching touchdown passes from Tom Brady to catch lacrosse passes from Paul Rabel. After winning 2 Super Bowl rings and retiring from the NFL, Chris Hogan didn't want to hang up the cleats, so he picked up a lacrosse stick and tried out for the Premier Lacrosse League. See, before his NFL days, Chris Hogan played lacrosse at Penn State, and he was pretty good enough to be captain for his senior season. But after years of not playing, the guy was a bit rusty.
Good.
Yeah. Tough to replicate this.
Yeah, conditioning.
Thought I was doing enough.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So he trained with Paul Rabel and Grant Ament to get ready. And it kind of worked, because he played for the Boston Cannons as a D midi. And the entire world freaked out. NFL players were finally coming over to lacrosse, until after a few games, he got the call back to the NFL. But honestly, it brought a lot of eyeballs to the sport. I just don't think PLL contracts compare to NFL contracts. And no one understood that better than Pat Spencer at number 4, because Pat was the best college lacrosse player in the world in 2019, smashing NCAA records and taking home the Tewaaraton Trophy. But after he graduated, Pat didn't go to the pro league. Instead, he had his eyes on a different pro league, the NBA. So Pat took a 5th year and played ball at Northwestern, then in Germany, then the G League, and now for the Golden State Warriors. This Lax bro is teammates with Steph Curry, and he's tearing it up, until this big boy thought he could bully Pat Spencer. So Pat hit him with a headbutt and got ejected from the game.
Into the corner, Spencer. and then it's Key, misses the layup.
Goodness.
Dylan Brooks and Spencer mixing it up underneath, and now Spencer and Şengün. Boy, look out, Jackson Davis shoving Şengün. And boy, a night that looked like it was going to be a huge blowout. And this thing continues to get interesting here down the stretch.
Right there.
Then right here, keep your eye on Spencer, the headbutt right there on Şengün.
After review, there are offsetting technical fouls on Jackson Davis and Alfred Şengün, followed by a technical foul and ejection on Cam Spencer for the illegal headbutt. One shot.
Oh, he meant Pat Spencer. Spencer played well.
Man, it's wild to see lax players in the NBA, but I'd rather we pay them more to keep them playing lacrosse. And that's what Paul Rabel's trying to do. Because after being paid minimum wage to play in the MLL, Rabel had enough. So he launched his own league, PLL, with a mission to pay players more. And this infuriated MLL owners, who told Paul he's going to fail. But the craziest part is how the MLL offered Paul $35 million to buy his league. And Paul declined. Instead, he focused on building up the PLL and ended up destroying the MLL's relevancy. No one was watching the MLL because all the best players moved to the PLL. Until one day, Paul and the PLL turned around and bought the MLL, apparently for a fraction of the $35 million offer, which is insane. Kind of like number 2, the release of the Warrior Warp, one of the most controversial lacrosse products to come out in decades, because the Warp is unlike any lacrosse head we've ever seen. It replaced regular lacrosse mesh with a new Kevlar mesh, one that can't be altered or restrung. And people thought this was going to be the mesh killer, where lax companies go out of business, shooting strings become a thing of the past, and your team's stick doctor would have to file for unemployment, because this thing was heralded as the second coming of the Messiah, with nearly every pro endorsing the Warp leading up to its release. But once it dropped, it kind of flopped and turned out to be something most lax players didn't want, because you couldn't customize the pocket, and that's kind of a big deal. Instead, it became a solid beginner stick for youth players. But you won't catch me rocking the Warp to practice, just like you won't see me doing what this kid did at number 1. The wildest moment in lacrosse history, because on Memorial Day 2016, number 1 Maryland was playing UNC in the NCAA championship. The game was tied 13-13 in sudden death overtime when Maryland got an open shot on net and the defender put everything on the line with a Superman dive.
Time! Room! Save! Bolton! Oh, we got contact! They're gonna let him play! You gotta call something. Dubik ended up in the crease. What a stop by Brian Bolcom!
Not all saves are created equal. That location made his job easy, but no save. And look at the effort of the closeout. Are you kidding me? Did you see that Carolina defender diving towards the shooter? And it's that kind of maneuver that can disrupt the shooter, and Balcom's there to close it down like a hockey goalie.
Man, that was insane. He may not have blocked it, but he gave his all in the championship game. And honestly, I wish most refs would do that, because sometimes they straight up ruin lacrosse by calling goals when the guy's in the crease, by checking players to the ground, and even penalizing teams for the wrong color gloves. These are times referees ruin lacrosse. And I kind of need you to click on this video right here, because this one's over. So you might as well click on it. I mean, we're just sitting here chilling, so click on that video. Click it.